Osarumen Izevokon, I hope that is correct, is another Nigerian who was able to flee Ukraine and got to Germany with his wife and children. He joins us now virtually. I understand that for security reasons, exactly where you are in Germany remains undisclosed, but thank you for joining us at this time.
Thank you. Thank you so much. Thank you.
What was the journey like getting out? So, I mean, you are practical evidence that these humanitarian corridors are working.
Well, basically, I'd say that it was an individual initiative. I had to move at the nick of time, and 30 minutes after I moved, I was called to inform that my home, my area, the area where we lived, had been bombed. So basically, what I'm trying to say is that there is no concerted effort by any group of people to evacuate stranded individuals, stranded Nigerians from the hotspots in Kyiv. Although I've been seeing some individuals, a private initiative to just move in and try to take people out. I will not want to undermine the efforts of those wonderful individuals. But when we talk about institutional arrangement, governmental initiative, there is no such effort to evacuate people. This is just the truth.
Is that because perhaps the negotiations have been tortuous and nothing has actually been concluded about the humanitarian corridors? You will notice that the first question I asked you was if you were and your family were evidence that they were working. From your response, it doesn't seem that that is correct, but in this situation, exactly, in the situation that we find ourselves now, we are all aware that there are disagreements between Russia and Ukraine, even about those corridors and where those corridors should lead. So is that continuing to be the problem? You talk about individual initiatives. How do those kind of initiatives work when more or less this is a government-to-government fight?
Well, I'd like to say, first of all, we should not beat a dead dog. We should beat a dead horse. We should be more proactive in our actions. See, when we were there were there were opportunities. There were times when it was viable. I'll use the word viable now. There were times when it was viable that the government moved in. It was safer at that point. But then I saw in the Nigerian dailies where the government said it was dangerous to move in. We were in the hotspot. We moved out. We saw the terrain. We saw the path. I think they really did not do investigations to be able to confirm, the news report in the Nigerian dailies, on TV, when they said that it was dangerous to evacuate Nigerians. But fundamentally speaking, I believe that proactivity is what we're lacking here. We wait till things get out of hand, till things are no more possible, then we throw in, our hats to say that we cannot. So basically, I still know of an individual who has gone into Ukraine to try to get our people out. One or two people, he's just trying his best. I can't recollect his name now, but I was able to get his name and also gave him some names of individuals that he could please get out of the hotspot. And then, you see, when I was coming out, I had to hire a car. I had to hire a car that took I and my family out. You see, and I hired the car for like 10 days. I paid for 10 days. So after the car brought us out, I mandated the car to the driver to go back into Ukraine and try to get as many as possible, out of the hotspot. So you see, basically, to answer your question, I think that proactivity is what we're lacking here. I see that we don't even have a concerted strategic effort to actually work, to actually save the lives of Nigerians. And this is why the lives of Nigerians and Africans down here are not valued, because our government do not understand the value of our lives.
Now you are in Germany. What are your plans now that you and your family, thank God, are safe in Germany? What are your plans?
Well, my plans basically are to go on with the tides. Now, when I say the tides, it doesn't mean that I am not being proactive with my actions. When I say the tides, I mean the process. The process is
Absolutely.
on ground. You see, so we have to follow the process. We have to see to the fact that we are going through, step by step to actualizing our eventual safe haven. So, but then I would quickly like to come in here quickly. Please allow me to say this. When you talk about evacuation, you don't just jump into evacuation. You don't just say you are evacuating people. You are evacuating people into what? You are evacuating people from what? And how are you evacuating people? You need to understand that the strategic aspect of evacuation should be brought into view. Now, when you talk about taking students from Ukraine and sending them back to Nigeria, we have some of these students whose parents, some of them are roadside tomato sellers, some of them are just menial job parents, people that hardly going by the day, and then they put all their resources together. Some of them sell their properties and lands to send their children abroad to school, and then something happens abroad, and the government says we are evacuating you back to your parents. That is going to be it's going to be a bit too harsh. You're not helping them. What you should do is to strategically confer with the government, the host government, the first port of call, because some of them were evacuated, some of them moved by themselves into Hungary. Some of them moved to Poland. Some of them moved to Romania. You see, at those locations, the government should be waiting for them there, conferring with the governments of those countries on how they can transfer them into universities in those countries, so they don't get to lose on both ends. They've lost financially, they've lost in their academics, and you're sending them back home to what? Are you even making provisions for them to continue their education back home in Nigeria, in the Nigerian universities? So these are some of the things that the government should be looking at. Proactivity is what I don't see here. We are just doing evacuation, evacuation, evacuation. Evacuation from what? Evacuation to what? And how are you doing the evacuation? This is my humble submission.
Thank you so very much, Osarome Zebogro. Of course, I'm sure the officials involved are listening. And these questions that you're asking speak to your original comment about proactivity and having a long-term strategy about what to do with those who are involved in this crisis, which is not of their making. Thank you so very much. These are questions that we will continue to ask as well right here. Thank you very much, and good luck.
Excuse me, please. Excuse me,
Yes.
please. Hello.
Yeah?
I'd like to make a very short comment. Can I make a very short comment, please?
You have
Because it's an opportunity.
1 minute, just
Okay.
1 minute.
Okay. Okay. Now, this is an opportunity that Nigerian is losing now. In the international chess game, we are losing out on proactivity again. See, Europe needs gas. We should get gas to them from Nigeria. Europe needs gas. We should get gas to them from Nigeria. I don't know how you're going to do it, but we should get into the international chess game now. Thank you.
All right, then, again, another proactive theme there. Osarome, thank you so much for that. I'm sure all those who are involved are listening and will probably take it from there, but it's good to know that even though you yourself are struggling through this tough tide, you have this in mind. Thank you so very much, and wish you the best alongside your family.
Thank you.
Thank you very
God
much for
bless
joining
you.
us. Thank you very much.